Even before he was sworn into office, most polls showed Americans thought Joe Biden was too old to be president. But after a frenetic 4 years of Donald Trump, Americans were exhausted and eager to slow things down.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly.
An elderly Biden seemed like the solution. At age 78, Biden made history, becoming the oldest U.S. president. Within hours, Biden signed 17 executive orders to begin reversing Trump's policies on everything from immigration to rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. The aged president had early legislative success, working with Congress to give Americans still struggling to recover from the coronavirus pandemic billions in financial relief. A $1 trillion infrastructure bill to improve roads, airports, and bridges was also passed. But as time passed, the lack of press access, the highly controlled presidential press conferences, compared to other presidents, was notable. That lack of accountability magnified as Biden's foreign policy crises mounted. The U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the 2023 October 7th Hamas attack, and Israel's months-long war on Gaza. Still, the White House tried to portray Biden's age and experience as his strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Until it became impossible to hide.
We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
At a White House event in 2022, Biden searched for a dead congresswoman in the crowd.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
And his struggles to put together even simple sentences became frequent and often overshadowed his message.
And so our military is working. I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military.
His physical decline and public falls occurred often. At the G7 in Italy, foreign leaders were seen directing and even assisting the president as he became confused and began to wander off. But it was this June presidential debate against former U.S. President Donald Trump that finally exposed the true extent of President Biden's decline.
It was a bad night. We understand that it was a bad night. And the president has spoken to this.
The president struggled to maintain focus. The White House said he had a cold. Democratic supporters weren't buying it.
It was tragic. I had my hopes that Biden would make a good showing, and I support Biden. And now I don't know what to think.
Weeks later, a successful post-NATO press conference gave Biden's campaign the oxygen needed to bounce back. Biden scorned suggestions his mental acuity was slipping.
I'm determined on running, but I think it's important that I allay fears by let them see me out there.
Take a look at what happened.
The attempted assassination of the former President Trump offered another opportunity to blunt the dump Biden effort. The embattled president addressed the nation from the Oval Office, appearing strong and presidential. But then Biden got sick.
He just tested positive for COVID.
And senior Democratic leaders made it public it was time for Biden to end his bid for another presidential term. Polls showed 65% of Democratic supporters wanted Biden dropped from the ticket. A COVID-stricken Biden finally abandoned his campaign. Joe Biden entered the White House at a turbulent time. The United States was in the midst of a deadly pandemic, but it was also deeply divided after an attempt to stop him from becoming president. Now, Biden leaves almost the same way he came in. Kimberly, Halkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.